Pretty much ready for my confession. Okay. By the way, shout out to Tara Patrick. That was the face and the intro. My favorite porn star of all time. I shouldn't say that though. I should curse her for and hold her responsible. No. for my addiction. And I'm being real here. I'm being real. Being serious. I don't blame her. I don't blame the industry. I blame myself. I cannot stop watching pornography. I cannot stop. I try very hard, but it just creeps up. It's everywhere, and I allow it to be everywhere around me. I know I shouldn't, and I know I should do better. And the reason why I say that, to me, I know I should do better, is because I do see it as very obsessive and very unhealthy. Is it healthy to masturbate every single day? Not an exaggeration, by the way. No hyperbole. Is real. I think I have masturbated at least once every single day. Every single day. Since I was 14 years old. I'm like 40. All right. That's... So what are we looking at there? Right? How many years of we got 26 years? 26 years of just masturbating. Okay? That's 365. That's 9,490 days that I've masturbated. Every day. At least once a day. That's a lot. That's a little excessive. Okay? I have a problem. I have a huge problem. And I don't mind sharing that with you guys. It sounds silly. When I think about it, it sounds so absurd. But the reality is, I don't think I'm the only one here. Now, some of you guys might pretend like you don't have that same problem, but but you might. You might have that problem. And I want this to be kind of like a place where we could share. I want the comment section to be healthy and uplifting and encouraging. Because I have tried severe ways. We'll get into all that. I just realized this whole topic is not going to be ad friendly. So once again, I'm going to have a stream that isn't really going to help me in the long run. But actually will help me in the long run. It'll help me because I'll maybe finally get this off my chest and be real with you guys. Some of you guys want me to be more real, more honest, more revealing. Okay, let's do that. Let's talk about this. I have masturbated every single day of my life since 14. I have at least once, right? Sometimes it's twice. Sometimes it's 3 times. And it is a lot. That's a lot of sperm. It's like how many sperm cells in one ejaculation? It's like 80. Wait, that's a good question. How many sperm cells are there? Snell, do you know the answer? Do you know the answer to that question? How many sperm cells are there in I mean, at least that's... I don't know if we need to go that far. It's probably in the billions. It'll be in the billions. That's 1 billion sperm cells, man. Just gone to waste. Gone to waste. Some down the toilet. Some on socks. Some on the floor. Some on ass. Some on grass. Some in someone's mouth. Just that's so many. That's so much sperm. It is crazy, right? At least by loads, that's like 9,000 loads. That's 9,000 loads. That's 9,000 potential. Some of those were with women. So that's potential babies. And God gave me this gift to make babies, and apparently I make beautiful babies. Okay. My kids, I don't want them in this mess, right? But I'll just say they're very healthy and they have a promising future ahead of them. Repent. This is me repenting. I don't know I don't know what else I could do, but be more honest with you guys about about my addictions, about my problems. I like to throw shade at other people and judge people like I'm better than them. I'm not. No, man, I got a huge problem. I masturbate every single day. I cannot stop masturbating. And I try very hard. Like what I mean is I'm like, okay, because I don't feel good about it anymore. Like I masturbated yesterday. What was the material? It was normally it's just ass. It's just Asian ass. A lot of that. Okay. Though lately I have been into black girls. Hey, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I guess it's like I mix it up. Sometimes white, sometimes black, sometimes Latino. Okay. God dang it. Okay. All right. But afterwards, I did not feel good. I was like, that feeling of shame came over me, and I was like, once again, and I have my dick in my hand, and it's shrinking, it's shriveling in defeat after I vigorously beat it to climax, and it's whimpering, and I feel bad. I feel like, man, I let myself down. I let my wife down. I let God down. I left the ghosts of my grandparents down if they're watching me. Because I try to use that. I try to use that mentality to like get me to stop, but it doesn't get me to stop. If anything, I'm just like no, I just can't. I can't. And when I try to stop, like I start getting, there's been a couple days where I did not masturbate. Okay. And after those days, I get very wound up, man. I don't know how to say. It's like I really have to release. It's like I really have to just release this load. And It is bad. Like I can't even function. I can't even concentrate at work. I can't concentrate on, anything really. All I could think about is looking up tits and ass and pussy, tits, ass, and pussy. The only thing I look up on Reddit is porn. Reddit actually has pretty good porn material. Okay, I hate the libs on Reddit. I voted for Trump. Trump #1 all the way. But I hate the libs on Reddit, but I love their porn. Okay. If you ever want easy access to porn, like internet's great for that. Reddit is super duper. You got ass, you got big ass, you got MILF, you got Asian gone wild, Latino gone wild. There's so many subreddits of the same category, and it's great because a lot of them have totally different stuff, and it's just amazing. But I should not be talking about it that way. I should not. Like, I want to do better, but it sounds like I don't really want to do better, doesn't it? Let's be honest here. As I say that, and I know I want that, yet when I talk about the porn, I start smiling. I start getting happy. It would be easy to blame society, right? It's not my fault, but at least for whatever it is you think about me, at least I know it's my fault. Okay, I don't give them any blame. I don't know what I could do better, or how I could stop. Oddly enough, I did think about live streaming my life. I mean, at least I wouldn't be able to masturbate on a live stream. It'd be really boring content. And well, I mean, I would be in the bathroom for a while. I'll take bathroom breaks. Long bathroom breaks. So I'd sneak in some rub. Or I'm talking. I mean, okay. Press 1 in the chat if you masturbate every single day. Press 2 if it's like, no, man, that's a little too much. Total brain rot. Yeah, that's yeah. Just look at me, brain rot. On the face of what happens when you OD on porn. Gooning on company time is so fun, though. That's great, man. That is so great. What's even better? Is gooning on company property on company time. I've cranked it out everywhere. Okay, when I was school age, I cranked it out at school. I cranked it out in the classroom. Cranked it out in the my hand was in my pants. Oh my god. Oh man, why did I say that? No. Oh man, that one might have been an exaggeration. Church. Yeah. The house of the Lord could not stop me. And I thought maybe I would get struck down. Maybe I would get a vision to stop. Did not. That did not happen. At work, at all my jobs, every job I've ever had, I masturbated somewhere. Sometimes it was a thing of just like power. Just jizz on the company rugs, or when I worked at Blockbuster, jizz on the on the movies. Jerk off into the movie dispenser. I don't know if you remember that. When you had to rent movies, VHS and DVDs, When you return them a Blockbuster or Hollywood Video, you had to throw them in the slot. Well, I'm not that. I'm like that special needs kid that's like a chronic masturbator. And in the early days, porn was kind of hard to find. I had my dad's stash that I would sneak magazines every now and then. But a lot of it was like anything, like, you know, I was like very young, right? I was 14, 15, 16. Sometimes it would be like video game characters or whatever. Man, but I'm not supposed to be reminiscing on that. I'm not going on a good path. I'm going to take this off the screen because I really need to inflict self-discipline right now, and I cannot do that on YouTube. Ah! 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 Okay. Now that's a little too much. That's a little too much there. And the CPS stuff, I did not do that. But I did masturbate in the office. There was that. I did not, at least I had the decency to know not to do that in other people's homes. But I did at the office. Our first day there. In my office, like at my desk. You know, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I may or may not have wrote erotica and was paid to do that by someone higher up. Oh man, woo, that's a bit revealing there. What I'm saying is, I'm confessing that I am indeed a degenerate that has an addiction to pornography, an addiction to masturbating, and I realize it is disgusting. I find it to be a form of self-harm spiritually and emotionally. Actually, and physically. Did you know you can masturbate to the point to where you no longer jizz, but you jizz blood? Yeah, I said that, blood. Yeah, you could overcrank. You can overcrank. It was scary. I thought something crazy was happening. I stopped. I did give a couple days there. I was completely drained. But it only took like 3 days. And then I was back at it. Now it says, I have not watched porn in 10 years. It's evil. It is evil. It is. I do agree that it is evil. And it's an industry that is ripe with exploitation. I'm just going to put it this way, man. If you had watched porn over the past decades, there's a good chance that you even not trying to, you trying to just, dude, there's a chance you probably saw some real abuse. Like a lot of those girls are coerced and exploited, and some of them falsify their information to get in. Okay. Some say they're 18, they're not 18. Like, there's some crazy stuff. So I'm saying that I realized too, by watching and engaging in that material, that I am participating in an industry that is ripe with abuse, But the way I look at that when I'm in that moment, when I'm in that zone, is the world is ripe with abuse. There is abuse and exploitation everywhere. Everything we do, just about every product you have, is benefiting from like exploited labor and all that. I want to get like literal, like these phones. Honestly, like these phones, like the batteries in them and all that, the way it's designed and produced, it's going to involve some sort of exploited labor, or probably not paid. To call that slave labor. So and then it's just and then I tell myself, I'm looking at the porn stars. You know, they're the ones that are making a career at this. They're gonna. That should be safe, right? That's not either that, or sometimes what I really like are like the straight up amateur stuff where it looks like it was homemade, like it was like a real couple made that. Now that stuff is pretty cool. No, should not say that. That stuff is not cool. That stuff is not cool. Man, I'm not doing well at all here. I'm confessing, and I am revealing my thoughts on things, but I don't think I am doing very good at I guess repenting. Now, self-flagellation isn't going to help because I'll just enjoy the pain and get off on that. That's probably true. They tweet subtitled "Abusive Wife." I watch a port. I don't know. Port is worth it. Oh, yeah. You know, if I wasn't in a relationship, if I wasn't in a marriage, if I didn't have kids, then I don't think I would have like that inner voice. It's like, you should probably stop this. If I was single and it was hard to find chicks, fuck it, dude. I wouldn't give a damn. I'd probably just I'd goon every day and I'll not care. So what do I need to do? Get rid of my wife and kids, and then I can masturbate forever and not feel any guilt? I'd still feel guilty. I feel guilty about abandoning my family for pornography, for masturbating. And I lump them together because have you ever tried to masturbate without pornography? It's weird. I mean, obviously I did that when I was much, much younger, right? Because porn was like, you know, it was on dial-up. Okay? And sometimes I didn't have it. Sometimes I had to go do that National Geographic at my grandma's house and look for the African titties. The African titties, okay? Sometimes I had to do that, okay? That's right, Ride. That's where it's kind of like... So, analyzing that. So my desire to want to quit sounds like it's based off of wanting to do better with my wife and also to set a good example for my kids. Obviously, I do enjoy, but I have to overcome that addiction. This addiction. I have to. That's something I would like for myself. But on those days where I really try, maybe I do make it a day. Right? Sometimes I'll make it like, I think the most I've made it was like, probably about a week. And about a week, I mean like 4 days. About 3 to 4 days. Not good. Sometimes I'll do it as a way to, like, if I want a long, hot sex session with my wife, I might crank one out earlier that day. That way, it just helps you last longer. It does. It so does. You crank one out. You get that first load out, and then you're set, man. Yeah, you can go on. You can go on for as long as you want. Really, I mean, you have a lot more control over that. Become a hard man. Snell, are you wanting me to get hard right now? Are you enabling me? Man, the F up. I tell myself that, man. And then I just start thinking about ass and booty and tits and then I just go hard. Oh. Sometimes I wake up hard at morning wood. I just got to. But let's see if I can do it. I tune out. I can't go in that direction. Masturbation is fine. Just do it without porn or less often. Well, Snell, how often does a Snell masturbate? What would you know about human issues? You're a Snell. Look at this. You see this chat? You see the screen? It looks like I'm talking to a Snell right there. I should put like a Snell avatar. I'm losing my mind. I'm talking to a Snell about how often you should masturbate and porn consumption. The holy Snell of Jesus Christ. I didn't realize that. Okay, so before making any commitments, make any declarations, let me make sure I analyze the reason why I want to quit. And see if there's anything else I left out. Any other details I need to bring up. So the shame that overcomes me, the shower's over, is a shame that a lot of people feel after they masturbate, I think. It's kind of like there's that meme of how porn looks like when you're in that mode and it looks nice, like a fresh pizza. And then afterwards it's like burnt. It's like nasty. It's like, oh, okay, I'm done. I'm depleted. I don't need this anymore. But then there is that shame of that, like, yeah, that I let God down. I do want to be a better Christian. I'm a Protestant, so I don't really care about all the, if you're Catholic, I don't really care about all your rules and all that stuff. Like, for me, it's as simple as, well, believing in Christ. I'm believing that Christ is the Son of God and that he died for your sins. And I believe that. I believe those things. But in my following, am I doing right? I'm not doing right. I'm not doing right at all. In fact, I'm not even trying to do right. I'm a man of vices. Many, many vices. You know, when I'm looking at porn, I'm lusting over a woman that's not my wife. That's not good. The only booty I should be masturbating to is my wife's booty. The only woman who should ever, the only woman who should get my sperm is my wife. The only thing that should be getting my sperm is my wife's ass. Okay? So, so I should commit to that. Okay. Because the other thing is, on the spiritual dimension, yeah, I do want to do better. And then with my wife, I want to do better. Sometimes I think a lot of the issues in our marriage, every marriage has issues. No one's perfect, okay? But we're fine. We We have days where we feel like we're not really spending a lot of time with one another and not really feeling connected. And it could be because I'm constantly looking at porn and masturbating. Not all day. It's not a whole... Honestly, the amount of time it takes out of the day is like 5 minutes. Not even that, you know? Sometimes it takes longer to find the source material, the material that this. Sometimes it takes longer to find that video you're looking for than it does to actually crank it out. Because anymore, it's kind of like a daily necessity, just to level me out. It relieves some stress. It gets me to think and focus more. Yeah. So I think if I were to not look at porn at all, it would definitely help me for sure. I think it would help the relationship, the marriage. I think that if I wait instead of masturbating, just have sex with my wife more often. Oh, definitely things will be a lot better. Oh, hell. Well, yeah. So, I mean, that's cool, man. So it would help the marriage, which means mommy and daddy would be happy, so that my kids will be happy too. You dropped half your viewers. I did, but I'm talking about something that's real to me. Spice things up. Snell, how am I supposed to spice it up? Huh? How am I supposed to spice this up? I'm talking to a freaking Snell. So I want to know what your thoughts are. Like, after hearing all this, press 1 if you find yourself to be in a similar situation. Press 2 if not. So press 1 if you are addicted to porn and you masturbate on an almost daily basis. Press 2 if you do not. Eat an onion? No, I've already eaten onions. Not doing that. I'm going to start breaking into some liquor, and then we could watch a video on porn addiction. There's a Dr. K video about how I could do better. I do want to, and then honestly, I could talk about whatever you guys want to talk about as well. I was actually going to title this stream, I will do whatever chat asks. There's something I really wanted to talk about. I've already eaten an onion, Snell. Okay? I'm going to do that twice. Actually, 3 times. Anthony B. So Anthony B is doing good. He is not addicted to porn. He's not masturbating on a daily basis. Are you Anthony Barone? The drummer for Baby Metal? No. I do want to do better. And in some ways, Snell is right. Just man up, do better. I need to. And the reason I worded that way, if I say I'm going to, I know I will be lying to you. If I say I will do better, I feel I'll be letting you down. Because I've said I'll do better many, many times on this. And I keep on doing it. I'm like, God, I'm tired of masturbating like this. I'm tired of like just wasting my sperm like this. I'm like a savage. I'm like just a beast. Okay? I'm letting my drives control me. All right? That's like what Satanism's about. Okay? That's what it means to be a Satanist. If you take the pentagram, you invert it. The points on the pentagram represent different elements: fire, wind, earth, water. Okay. I already say water twice. Air. Okay, but you get it. Okay, it sounds like Captain Planet right now. But the top point is supposed to be you, the soul. You know, people who just use a regular pentagram, that's not Satan stuff. That's more Wiccan stuff. That's more witch stuff. Okay. Even the witches will be like, well, you got to put the soul over everything else. You got to put the spirit over everything else. Satanists are like, no, we're going to let the elements of the earth, we're going to let nature rule us. We're going to be our inner beast. Not have no morality, have no ethics. Just be a slave to your emotions, your drives, your instinctual needs. Every time you want to rub onion juice on your wiener. I would rather not. I'd rather not. I would rather not. Every time I want to crank one out, I should look at a picture of Snell and just remember that the holy Snell said, "Do not masturbate anymore. You'll masturbate on a daily basis. You're wasting all your sperm." I'm gonna reach a point to where like my balls make no more. It's like you've jizzed your last jizz. You actually made it to the end. You depleted. I'm the guy who's gonna make it. Oh crap! I'm the guy who's gonna make it that far. Oh man. Okay. Feel like that went pretty far out there. Okay. I just want to do better. So who? See, even if I make a declaration now, I will stop looking at porn and no more masturbation. None of you will believe me. It's not like there's a camera on me 24/7. And it's not like I haven't lied before. All right. It's not like I don't joke around about stuff all the time. Everything's a joke to me. Everything is. Even my life at times. Gotta gamble it all away one day. Every morning, I'll check in. Like, this is Mr. Deadman. His day number such and such. No masturbation. And all you could do is go by how I look. You know what's going on to see if I'm being real with you. Okay. Now, of course, early in the morning, I look horrible no matter what. I hate the mornings. Mornings are rough for me. So maybe after coffee or something. You have to do something humiliating if you jerk off. I do something humiliating all the time. This whole conversation's humiliating. Okay? Chat, what would you like me to do? What would you like me to do? What are we doing next? It's NoFap November? Okay. We are, how many minutes in are we on this topic? About 40 minutes in. So, I will say it's about time to make a deal with you guys. No more masturbation or pornography. Okay? I give you my word. Are we supposed to shake hands? How does it work? What the? But what happens? What do I do? What do I do if I fail? It sounds like the wife and the kids are getting in the way of you truly enjoying yourself. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life. Right. You're like the devil. You're tempting me. Oh. Stop jerking off, dead man. I need to stop. I do. It's too much. It's way too much. Okay, it might be a crime. Shamu still has a wrench. Oh yeah, I mean Shamu's cool. Why would he not have a wrench? I mean, don't be jealous, Snell, that you don't have a wrench. Wait, Snell, why would you have a wrench? I wouldn't give a wrench to a Snell. Why am I even talking to a Snell? Am I high right now? Am I on shrooms? I'm gonna smoke my all-American tobacco. Well, the Snell check. It didn't work. Okay, Mr. Coom man. That's right. Chad Stein has a wrench. I don't even know who he is. I forgot. Remember back in the day, I just give wrenches to everybody. Anyone who said anything in the chat. And I think sometimes I actually gave everyone a wrench. You know, the mentality there is, hey, if everyone has the ability to kick someone from the stream, then maybe they'll just all get along. Or not. Maybe they'll have a... You know what? If I make all you guys a mod, what would happen? If I mod every single one of you as a mod, standard, don't get crazy with like. Okay. All right, Snell, you've been promoted to standard mod. I think Warriors of Shire, you have been as well. You've been modded. I'm gonna give you mod. Everyone gets a mod. Everyone gets a wrench. See? That bullshit happened. Well, I'm going to make... Galdi will also be a mod. True chaos. That's how it should be. All right, guys. There you go. Y'all could start, like, deleting each other's messages and be super fun. I like that. Dark Tina. No. Dark Tina, I'll give you standard mod as well. Don't get cocky now with managing mod. That's so stupid. Why in the world should I give Snell managing mod? Okay. Whoa. Let's not say that word. We can't say that word. Oh, we don't... I think we're just talking how they talk to each other, but you can't say... I think Galdi is black though, so I think he can say that word. I don't think he's white. That's not a... Is Galdi a white name? He might be like Italian, which Italian is not. Italian is like a white N-word. Okay? I'm messing with you. They get pissed off about that shit. They get so pissed. All right. Now we're getting into a territory that could get us in trouble on YouTube. If you never fap to a Snell, you're missing out. To a Snell? What about on a Snell? Or what about with a Snell? What about with a Snell? Like you fap with a Snell, like in your palm? Like you put the Snell in the palm. Obviously you remove the shell. At least you would want that pain. And that is so gross. That is so nasty. Oh my God. No. I might want to wear the shades for this. I don't want my whole face to be... If the wrong people see this, I want to be able to see, oh, it was just a bit. You see this Those silly shades. Have I fat this still? No, have not. Have not done that. That was going to be the last episode of Resurrection of I almost forgot her name now. Shalyn. That's her name. That's her real name. That was going to be the Resurrection of Shalyn. But I was too lazy to go to the back of the RVs to film that one scene. So, yeah, it is No Fat November. I didn't even think about that. You know, I'm such a goofball. I kind of go into things by accident all the time. I just come into things on accident. So many accidents. And here we are, November. I think we could do the whole No Fat November thing. We could commit to it. I say we, me and my personalities. Or you guys, if you want to do it. Who's all going to do it? Press 1 in the chat if you want to commit to No Fat November. We're not going to touch our own penises. Well, you gotta piss. We could do it, guys. But I did not get what happens if I fail. I think all I got was something humiliating. Well, if I fell, should I troon out? That's not even that humiliating. That's kind of anymore. That's pretty safe, actually. There's nothing edgy about that. That's expected. And that's a little too gay. Rub onion juice on my dick? Oh, man. That's going to burn. Oh, man. I think I'd rather masturbate with Icy Hot than do that. Ooh, that hurts. The thought of that. Okay. Am I willing to do that? Well, you guys would want a video. I'm not giving you a video of my dick. Not giving you anything like that. Ever. But what I can do, what I'm willing to do, is all right. Okay, I can do it this way. Don't be a woodsy. Onions. No. Anyone else have any other ideas? Forced to watch Black Trans. Oh. But that might actually condition me. Okay. Because I might actually fail. I mean, chances are good I'll actually fail, and I'll have to end up doing whatever it is I commit to. And if it's forced to watch Black Trans, I mean, I could put that off screen. You could see me watching that with the reflection of these glasses here. And I suppose we could hook up like a heart monitor to see if my heart rate goes up, if I get aroused or whatever. But that's kind of lame too. Wasabi, a whole tube on my dick? I don't think that works. Wasabi is spicy. The activations could be on your tongue. So, I mean, that's right. I mean, you know what? I'll fuck an onion. I could do that. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't want to watch that. But I'll fuck an onion. I could do that. Make a hole in it. Lube it up. But that's if I fail. No more porn. No more masturbation. This is so silly. This might actually work. You might not actually get that video you're wanting. Yeah. Fill the onion with ghost peppers. Warriors of Shire, whose side are you on, man? The side of the Warriors. You guys don't actually like me. You guys just want to see me get tortured. Man. What's this? Are we going to... Wait. Do I want this on the screen?
Here are some of our up-and-coming...
What? Are you serious? What is this? Wait, let me preview it to make sure there's no penises being...
plum corn and sweet.
Okay. Hey, let's check this out. I'll put this on the screen. By the way, how are you guys doing right now? You doing okay? How is your Saturday treating you? Did you watch porn today? Plum Corp Q1 analysis for investors only. What in the world is this? Okay.
Here are some of our up-and-coming products. And this one right here, look at the detail. This shit will have you screaming and hollering. Ah! 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 This shit will have you screaming right here and hollering. Ah! Ah!
Why do you want to be screaming and hollering?
This shit right here. This right here for team players. This one right here.
For team players, I think he means that literally. Team players, you're double teaming. You're
this
double
shit
teaming.
Right here, this is for the real freaks. They got bro fucked up right now. This shit is for the mind.
What the hell? Your the flesh of your dick will be scraping against that, dude. This is torture.
Monsters. Ah. Ah. We also sell a lot of press cards. We are the world's third biggest press card manufacturer. We have correspondents all over the world. This is our CEO of Plum.
That's the CEO.
In Sweden. He's doing a good job. He gets paid $900,000 a year to do this shit.
Why does he have so many cigarettes? What's going on here?
There's a clone living in every capital city. We make all kinds of clothing products like this.
That's so funny in the world. Why? Why did he do that? Man. Yeah, that's quite a lot. Would y'all do that? Wrap up cigarettes and smoke them like that? I would not. think my chat stopped moving. There we go. Double team the onion. Oh, that would be ballsy right there. No, I don't want to rope my neighbors into this. I don't want the roped into this.
Sometimes I feel like Smokey Margella. Friendly orbital VSAT is in the air. I'm sending in an A-10 Warthog with hollow tips. The $751 billion transaction is complete. Would you like me to create any more species?
This is the law.
What in the world? Dude, that was so funny. Okay. That was so out there.
Here are some of our...
Okay. Plum Corp CEO. All right, that's pretty fun. Thanks for that. That was cool, man. That was cool. Real cool. Real cool, man. Do we have any other videos, man? Have you guys ever done that? I want to be honest here. Snell, have you ever fucked a cucumber? Have you ever pickled a cucumber? I mean, she probably has. Snails are freaks. They just don't admit it. All right. So this is Dr. K. I don't know if he's good or not. Okay. But porn addiction. Okay. I want to learn about porn addiction. I want to see if he's talking about me, talking to me. It pickled many things. Oh, like eggs. You shoved eggs in there. You pickled them. Let's see. RD says, do you have sex or does the porn addiction cause you to not desire regular sex? Oh, no, I have sex too. I just have to crank it out all the time. That's where anymore I watch porn, so it's not weird just to masturbate, like, to nothing. Lately, I just kind of do it out of habit. And it's like I'm like autopilot. It's like my voice is like, no, stop. But I can't. But I made a commitment here. I'll check in every day. I'll check in every day. All right, here we go.
It is
porn
like
addiction.
Understanding their emotions. So when I think about pornography addiction, so remember that any addiction brings pleasure and takes away pain. So if you can reduce the need to take away...
Wait. Brings pleasure but takes away pain? Every addiction does that? Are we sure about that, Dr. K? I'm not a doctor or anything, but I can think of some addictions that bring pain, but I guess the pleasure outweighs the pain. But sometimes, I feel literal disgust at myself after I jerk off, after I watch porn and jerk off together, And I already revealed a lot that, like, sometimes there's literal pain. What about people who do hard drugs? What are people with weird addictions that require bodily harm for that addiction to be carried out? How much time do I look at porn? Like throughout the day. I'll say altogether maybe like 30 minutes. I don't know if that's good or bad. I have no idea. I'll make RD a mod. Everyone's a mod. This is gonna work well.
away pain, then you're going to melt away the pornography addiction. So there are a couple of things that are correlated with pornography addiction. So if you look at multivariate regression analyses, there are two variables that correlate very highly with pornography addiction. One of them is meaninglessness in life. So generally speaking, if you can help someone have a reason not to watch pornography and jerk off in the middle of the day, then that will help them a lot. So what happens is, this is my population, but like
I have that. Like I work during the day. Sometimes I might take like a Me Too break. a Me Too break. I rate myself? I mean, I think I do at this point. That's what it sounds like in the beginning when I was sick, right? I don't really want to do it, but I'll do it anyway. Am I giving myself consent to pleasure myself? I don't think so. I should call the police on myself. This is so dumb.
You know, these are people who are oftentimes young men in their 20s, and they're like falling behind in some way. And it's like 4 p.m. on a Thursday. They're not really working. And like, what else do they have to do? So as we start building a life of meaning, like the need for pornography seems to decrease.
Well, sometimes I do it like after I'm sitting on the toilet after I took a shit. Well, I flush and, well, that was a good time. Let's look at some porn. No. But actually, yes. it is pretty bad. It is bad.
That's one thing. The second thing is that oftentimes, remember, this is emotional regulation, and people will have a lot of stored emotions from things like traumatic experiences growing up, romantic relationships, all kinds of other stuff. So as we metabolize that storehouse of emotion, it becomes easier to manage emotions from day to day. They're kind of like built up and your mind kind of stores them in the subconscious. So if we look at something like processing trauma, so I do a lot of like trauma processing for people with pornography addiction. And that sort of takes some of the gas out of the tank that's fueling the addiction. The third thing to do is to...
I don't think he could help me process my trauma. I don't think he can. It goes pretty far back, man. I think I revealed a little bit on one stream. A lot of that was real. Some of it was not. I think I was talking to, oddly enough, I think, I don't want to say her name. It was one of the Thorpes, but the one who doesn't really want to be involved anymore. So, we talked about past trauma. We're trying to trauma bond.
To reduce emotions in the present. So teach them alternate coping mechanisms that they can use to manage emotions. And oftentimes it's like really life-oriented stuff. So if I'm living at home and my parents are toxic, like learning to set better boundaries is one of the best things to teach someone who struggles with pornography addiction. Because usually what's going on is these are people that have someone in their life who is sending them toxicity, but they feel so guilty at cutting them out. This can even be someone like a romantic partner or spouse. It can be a parent. And as they're like receiving the stress, it's almost like I'll joke with some of my patients that you have an emotional umbilical cord. They're connected to someone else, and another human is like transmitting negative emotions to them like a waste product. And then they have to turn to substances or pornography or whatever to like offload that emotional stuff. So boundary setting, emotional regulation techniques, processing trauma, and like...
So some people are addicted to porn because they get trauma dumped and then they need an outlet? I want to disagree with that, but as I sit here reflecting on one of the things that is enjoyable about the moment, usually of masturbating and porn, is that release of stress release a little bit, and I think working at intense jobs. Emotionally intense jobs, not physically. Though when I worked at the psych facility, that was a lot of physical. That was a lot of restraints and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I would find myself harboring a lot of like negative emotions for sure, and I would be looking for an escape. I was drinking more. I think I drank more when I was working as a mental health tech and then working for CPS. For CPS, it was like pretty bad. Okay. So anymore lately in my life, I don't have those same stresses. Well, I do kind of sort of social work. I'll put it that way. Like, I enjoy the clients I interact with. Like, it is cool to be like a positive influence in their life and to help them with to do better and help them out, which is great. I like that. It's very fulfilling. I like that stuff, and I think part of the reason why I might feel lately not really just disgust, but like kind of like, why am I even doing this? After I look at porn and masturbate, it's that period. There's like, not only am I disgusted because I, betrayed God, betrayed my wife, and that stuff, but it's like, why am I doing this? It's automated. This is so, I don't need to do this. Like, I have plenty of time to spend with my wife, and yeah, I mean, like, I don't need to do this at all. So maybe it'll be easy for me to quit this time. Maybe. I don't know. Oh. Yeah. I mean, I'll do that. Because I am not going to fail. There's no failure here. Yeah, some of you rolled your eyes on that one. Yeah, I believe you too, Snell. I'm like hallucinating over here. It's for the flavor.
Like, really building purpose in life tends to be like a pretty good, like, good outcomes.
So many things come to mind, but I think we're seeing
she's a porn
young
star,
men, like,
isn't
we
she?
know that
Rena Malik. See, I'm so porn rot. I am pretty bad. I'm looking at her. I'm like, I wonder what she looks like naked. No.
amounts of sex or frequency of sex is decreasing, and that the even birth rates are decreasing. And so do you think this is sort of part of all of this, like, external stimulation that's around, and then they feel sort of, I mean, this is a theory for me, right? They feel,
I bet you she's a freak,
less
though.
meaning, right? Because they're not actually having success in finding someone or meeting someone, or it's just easier to access pornography. And then they're like, they're still not connecting with other people. They're using pornography because they still feel bad. Of course, we talked about the
Everyone's
cycle a little
mod.
bit, but is it sort of like, are these things?
Not even those would tempt me, and I don't even want those anyway. The only nudity I need to see and should see is that of my wife. Okay, all right. Seeing any other woman, getting aroused by them, that's lusting for another woman. It's time for me to be faithful and be committed, be honorable. When I leave this earth, I want to leave as someone who could be described as a good man. Someone that had someone that could, be a master of his domain.
Things contributing to that?
When you say these things, what do you mean?
Like, meaning, are we seeing people get porn addiction because they're either having stress in their life? So say they're not coupled with somebody, say they are trying to meet people, but they're having difficulty, because I think the dating world has changed, right? With dating apps and how people communicate and meet each other.
The dating world, they don't want you to date to make babies. They want you to be miserable. They want you to be hypersexualized. They want the girls to have sex with as many people as possible, but to not have babies and to even abort the babies, okay? When I say they, the secret cabal that runs the scene, okay? They're anti-human. Carbon's bad. Carbon's human. Remember that, okay? You might be like, deep-seated conspiracy. That's real. That's real, man. Okay? The plan is to erase us. And,
very different from when you and I were younger. And so I think that is a very different sort of
Anthony
place to
Barone
navigate.
is not a mod.
Women are looking
Let's
for a
change
certain kind
that.
of man, and if you don't fill that category, you are immediately filtered out, right? So women are dating the top 5-10% of men, are trying to aim for them, and then there's a lot of men who are not having success in meeting women.
Yeah, so it sounds like you have a theory that that's at play, and I think that's completely reasonable. So let's just play around with that a little bit. So the first thing is that, this idea that women are dating the top 5 to 10% of men. I assume you're talking about like Tinder statistics.
Yeah, like those. I mean, because that's where you can filter by height and by
Yeah, so I think that there's a couple of interesting, like, once you really look at the data, which I don't know if you have, but I'm sure anyone who's trained in statistics. So when they say they're dating the top 10% of men, there's this idea.
He's about to tell her that she is wrong, and but that's a stat. That's something I've been hearing a lot of people say, though. I mean, women don't go looking for the ugly guys. I mean, I've never really had a problem with dating. Been pretty easy, actually. Now I think about it. I've had a lot of encounters.
Idea that one dude is dating like 9 women, whereas that's not usually what happens.
Right.
So if you look at something like Tinder, it's like a 7 to
6 viewers. Oh, thank you so much, man.
9 men to 1 woman like ratio. So when they say they're dating, it's still oftentimes one dude is dating one guy, or maybe people are kind of at the top, but like there's such a lopsided gender ratio that it's still like closer to 1 to 1 in some ways. It depends on the studies that you look at and stuff like that. So I think that this creates this idea that a lot of men have that, like, oh my God, there's like these chads at the top that are like banging lots of girls.
Yeah.
I don't think the reality is quite like that when you really look at the statistics. So that's one piece. But I think another thing to really consider that I think
I mean, the chads are dating banging lots of girls, right?
you kind of hit the nail on the head, is that it is harder for men and women to find a good match.
Yeah.
There are many reasons for that. I think one reason is that, so if we look at like what women want in partners, and this is generalizations, so you can look at statistics, right? So like the idea of a dating a dude who lives at home at the age of 28 is like, I don't want someone who's living with their parents. But 50% of people under the age of 30 who are adults still live with their parents, men and women both.
Yeah.
So the economic...
Oh, man, that's bad. Wait, do you guys still live with your parents? How do y'all feel about that? Do you live with your parents? I know there's a delay when I ask a question. I want an answer. We have 6 viewing. If we get 6 likes, we'll break in the shots and stuff like that, okay? All right, we'll start going crazy. Snell, you act like I know who you are. I don't know who you are, bro. I don't talk to snails, man. All right. But yeah, I guess a lot of people do live with their parents. It's kind of sad, I think. But I'll say housing market, all that stuff, I suppose. Go room with someone. Whatever.
Economic situation is changing, so the idea of like an independent man at 28 just doesn't apply to 50% of the population.
Yeah.
Another good example of this is most women, I want to say, like statistics are historically somewhere around 70 to 80% of women will want to date a man who makes more money than they do. Mm-hmm. But 60% of college graduates are now women.
Yeah.
So what we're starting to see is as equality of income increases, that expectation becomes harder and harder to fill. So whatever the reason is, and there are all kinds of challenges that women have as well, and they get tons of dick pics and all kinds of other things.
Yeah.
So it's definitely making it harder for men to date. Now that's just on the gender side, but there's a whole other set of things that's like screwing up dudes too, which is that, you know, as men, like we have very poor emotional regulation skills. We're not really taught how to express emotions beyond anger. We're unlikely, it's like hard for us to engage in psychotherapy, which I don't think is a weakness of men. I think there's some systemic biases in psychotherapy that are against men.
I don't have any trouble expressing emotion. No. So far, I'm agreeing with what he's saying there. That's pretty spot on.
So if you look at studies on couples counseling, like you ask men, why don't you want to go to couples counseling? And what happens is they feel.
But hold on. But let me back up. The whole thing about like we don't teach men, we don't let men or tell men how they can express other emotions other than let's get that.
Not really taught how to express emotions beyond anger. We're unlikely, it's like hard for us to engage in psychotherapy.
I mean, there's more than just anger. It's anger, it's guilt, it's shame. Okay. There's happiness. All right. There's excitement. The whole like guys only express anger is so simple. It's such a simplistic view. Like guys, when they have a bro moment or heart to heart moment, like it's not gonna look the same way as typically when chicks have that. So, I mean, to make it seem like guys are just like just all they could do is express anger. That's it. It's not like women don't express anger. What? Women express anger all the time. What? They just come off as catty. They're very vindictive. All right.
Therapy, which I don't think is a weakness of men. I think there's some systemic biases in psychotherapy that are against men.
Men don't want therapy because they want to know how to fix the problem. What I found about with therapy is like talking about it. As I talk about it helps. Talking about it helps share and like, okay, yeah, you talk to someone who's understanding and empathetic and all that, but did we fix it? You know, it's kind of like the same reason why my wife talks to me and is like, well, I just want to, you know, she just wants to vent. She doesn't want someone to actually tell her how to solve the problem. She just wants to talk about a problem and vent about it. And it's like, well, it sounds like if I was you, I would do this. And that's not really what she's looking for at all. So it's like, okay. But it's just, there's a different approach there. Have fun, old Rza.
So if you look at studies on couples counseling, like you ask men, why don't you want to go to couples counseling? And what happens is they feel outgunned. So anytime they go see a couples counselor, their female partner, assuming a heteronormative relationship, knows how to articulate their feelings, and the man doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So
I guess typically, but since I'm a guy who's worked in like the social work field for a while and a background in psychology, I don't, if anything, with couples counseling, I think it's about 50-50, or I would say I was articulating, I think, more than than my wife. But I mean, that's not a contest though at all. But I guess what he's saying is true, like in a general sense. But I don't think so.
The wife is like articulating, like, he does this and this makes me feel this way, and the therapist kind of like gets on their side, and so men sort of feel like outmatched, and I think that there's a good reason for that. So men are really struggling right now. I think there's a lot of this dating stuff going on. There's a lot of expectations that are changing, and then there's a lot of like distortions. So if you look at, I recently saw a paper on incels where their beliefs about what women want are quite divorced from reality. So there are these ideas that, the top 10% of dudes are dating all the women. So they assume that, okay, like what that means, right? We can sort of like apply the transitive property is that this woman I'm talking to is only interested in a dude who's in the top 10%. But if you actually ask women, like, who are you interested in and who do you date? It's much more wide and accepting than most men are like understand.
You know, it's interesting because in the same breath, I don't disagree with you, but
there's all those videos of those ladies being asked, what do you want in a partner? What do you look for? And they quote some crazy number that they want. But those videos are those responses are kind of they get farmed. I'll put it that way.
But I want to kind of push back a little bit because you said it's not cute to date someone who's living at home, whatever, right? You're like, that's sort of a turnoff. And so that's half the male population who's living at home with their parents, right? And then you want people who make more than you, and women are more often graduating college, getting higher degrees, getting higher positions. And the average salary of a man is $45,000 in the US. So it sort of seems like there are, I mean, maybe they're not dating the top 10% of men only. Maybe they're just not dating, right? You know, I think that's part of it too.
So how is that a pushback?
No. So my point is like, so meaning that there is the large majority of men are not finding matches is exactly what you said, but they're not finding matches because women are choosing not to date because their expectations are not being met, which is sort of what you said. But it is, I mean, so they're not wrong in the sense that this woman wants something different than what I have to offer, but they're wrong in saying they only want the 10% of men. Yeah. They just want something different than what I can offer.
Yeah. So I think that there's like both can be true. So I think the
but there's like really unrealistic expectations. Very, very, very unrealistic expectations that are expressed on both sides there. You know, a lot of men want want those hot chicks. They want that 10 or 9, 8. You're probably not getting that. You're not getting that. But and you have these chicks that have crazy ideas, but you know what they want in a man and what they expect to get. It's like, good luck looking for that. And then on top of that, like if you're just meeting chicks on like Tinder and stuff, do you even expect any sort of commitment? Is that expected? I don't see how that could be.
Challenge now is that, like, see, we used to need partners.
Mm-hmm.
So now what's happened is our society has become so independent that
this isn't really helping me on my porn addiction. I want to know what the symptoms are and all that stuff. So this whole thing is not helping me. It says porn addiction is not about sex. Well, I like seeing people fuck. So I like seeing ass. I like seeing titties. I like seeing pussy. So for me, it kind of is. Okay. So, what?
A man is not even competing against another man. A man has to add
That's bullshit right there.
value to a woman's.
A man is not competing. Okay. A man is not competing with another man. Shut the fuck up. I know he's Dr. K. All right. What do you mean men don't compete with other men? All right. Yeah, I'm done with this guy. If I finish this video, I would have to watch porn. But I made a commitment. Oh, that right there is just I was reminiscing on like the first DVD I had. That one right there. Tara Patrick. It was so good. It was so good. You could control the angles and all that stuff. It was nice. But I think we're saying farewell to porn. I think we're doing that. So no more porn for me. No more Alexis Texas. No more Tara Patrick. No more random Japanese models. I'm going to do it. I can commit to that. I think I can. I'll make that commitment with you guys. Every day I'll check in. Starting today. This is my check-in. No porn. All right. I think we're good. All right. I just wanted to express some things with you guys. I share with you a real addiction, a real problem that I have, and start this journey with y'all. And we'll go with that. But that said, y'all take it easy and have a good one.